Those timeframes of a quarterly earnings or a certain growth reporting timeframe, they're arbitrary. They don't exist and have authority in and of themselves. So rather than having those in place and then feeling the pressure to make decisions and push towards achieving those targets or reporting on growth in that time period, think differently. Start to broaden your time horizon. Start to be more intentional about what you focus on and how you incentivize behavior in your organization that actually gets you closer to who you are as an organization in terms of behaving in an aligned way with your core values, and that helps you trend in the direction of achieving your vision of what you want to be part of as an organization. You have the power to do that. You can change what you're focused on as an organization. You can change what you incentivize. That will ultimately affect how people behave within your organization, the decisions they make, what they feel they have the freedom to do in terms of either taking risk or simply, as I said, having a longer time horizon. When we do that, and when we come back to some of the pieces that I keep talking to you about, the benefits of a both-and mindset, where we stop ourselves, if we find ourselves being one-dimensional, if we find ourselves going to extremes or being quite black and white, and we then say, okay, I need to stop. I need to think about this from different perspectives. I need to broaden. I need to have a more multi-dimensional response to this. Then in this category, around what we're focusing on and how we're incentivizing the right behavior, we can start to say, if I tell my team that what we're all focused on at the moment are these quarterly targets around growth, around hitting certain percentages of profit, but then we are trying to paint this bigger picture of who we are as an organization and what we want to be part of creating in the world, they will feel this tension. They might be excited by that broader vision. They might feel connected to the values that we are talking about as an organization, but they are going to feel deeply conflicted when then what I am pushing them to actually deliver for me in terms of what I'm incentivizing is the achievement of short-term targets. This dissonance there that just makes no sense. And in order to either get their own bonuses, in order to feel that sense of achievement and purpose for them and their team, that they can tick that box and they've achieved the quarterly targets, you're actually driving their behavior back into the exact thing you're trying to step away from. So think about where that is at play in your organization and how you might want to change that. When we think bigger, whether that is about the piece of thinking like a system, then acting like an entrepreneur, so whether it's that we zoom out and we start to take on board a whole bunch of different factors within the environments we operate in, that might be related to some of the flow-on impacts that we have either with our customers when they use our products or services. It might be looking back into our supply chain and looking at the consequences of our decisions there related to the conditions of workers or the environmental impacts of our supply chain. When we broaden out and start to understand the big picture more, and when we then take a different approach around timeframes and have a business model focus that is about the win-win, the creation of the win-win. So again, not going into that world of being a zero-sum game of I need to grow and win and be more profitable at the expense of others, but instead saying I need to be running a business where when I win, it is because I have delivered more value in the world. My team win, my suppliers win, my customers win, all of those components of a broader sense of stakeholders. When we do that, And it's combining all of those pieces of a bigger picture, more multifaceted view of our work. It has a bigger time frame, and it has the aspects that we've just kind of walked through together. What it allows us to do is to start to come up with solutions and structure things in a way that more accurately incentivizes the right kinds of behavior and moves us away from those situations where we see business leaders actually behaving in really unhealthy ways that aren't, life-giving for them either as an individual, and they're certainly not a good reflection on us as a business. So that's the piece around structuring our attention and incentives in business. Again, the books to read, there's lots of books to read, but Net Positive and Fixing the Game are two nice places to start.